What does pure religion mean to you? Is it a set of rituals, doctrines, or perhaps a way of life? Let's delve into this concept of pure religion, a term that may be elusive for some, yet essential in navigating the landscape of life. It's not about the grandeur of cathedrals or the eloquence of sermons, but it's about the virtues of faith, patience, wisdom, and humility. In the first chapter of James, faith is portrayed as a pillar of strength that helps us withstand the trials and temptations we encounter. As James writes, "Count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience." Think of faith as a beacon, guiding us through the stormy seas of life. It's not about the absence of challenges, but the presence of courage and resilience in the face of them. Faith is the anchor that keeps us steady, and patience is the compass that directs us. Patience in this context isn't merely about waiting, it's about enduring, about having the fortitude to stand firm even when the world around you is shaking. It's about letting patience have her perfect work so that you may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. And then there's wisdom. Wisdom is not just about knowledge or intelligence, it's about discernment. As James writes, "If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, that giveth to all men liberally and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him." Wisdom is the ability to discern right from wrong, to make choices that align with our values and convictions. Lastly, we have humility, a virtue that's often overlooked, yet so vital in our journey. Humility reminds us of our shared humanity, urging us to rejoice in our exaltation, but also to remain grounded in our humility. As James writes, "Let the brother of low degree rejoice in that he is exalted, but the rich in that he is made low, because as the flower of the grass he shall pass away." Understanding these virtues is the first step towards grasping the meaning of pure religion. How does one overcome trials and temptations in the pursuit of pure religion? This question has puzzled many, and yet the answer lies within our grasp. In the book of James, chapter 1, verse 12, we find a profound insight. "Blessed is the man that endures temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord has promised to those who love him." This verse reminds us that trials and temptations are not roadblocks, but rather stepping stones on our journey to spiritual maturity. They are not punishments, but opportunities for growth. As we endure, we grow stronger, more patient, and more resilient. Then in verses 19 and 20, we are advised to be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. This counsel is as relevant today as it was 2,000 years ago. In an era of instant communication and quick tempers, taking the time to listen, to think before we speak, and to manage our anger is paramount. For the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of God. In other words, acting out in anger does not align with the path of pure religion. Lastly, in verse 26, we find a stark warning. "If any man among you seem to be religious, and bridleth not his tongue, but deceiveth his own heart, this man's religion is vain." This verse urges us to control our words. Our speech can be a powerful tool for good, but it can also be a weapon of destruction. If we cannot control our tongues, our faith is in vain. But let's remember, these trials and temptations are not from God. In verse 14, we are reminded that every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. Our trials and temptations are often the result of our own desires and decisions, not divine tests. Overcoming these trials and temptations and managing our reactions to them are vital in our pursuit of pure religion. So let's embrace our trials, for they are the stepping stones on our path to spiritual growth and purity. What actions can lead us towards salvation and pure religion? In the quest for salvation and pure religion, it's important to remember that every good and perfect gift originates from above. As James chapter 1 verses 16 to 18 remind us, these blessings cascade down from the Father of lights, a divine figure who is as constant as the North Star, without any variability or shadow of turning. It is through his will, his divine plan, that we are born with the word of truth. This birthright makes us a kind of first fruits of his creatures, a testament to his divine love and generosity. However, accepting these gifts requires an open heart and mind. As we delve into verses 21 and 22, we find a powerful directive. "Lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word." This is a call to cleanse ourselves of all that is impure and unnecessary in our lives, to humbly accept the Word of God, which is capable of saving our souls. Yet it is not enough to merely hear the Word, we must also act upon it. By being doers of the Word and not just listeners, We avoid deceiving ourselves and truly walk the path towards salvation. Finally, let's turn to verse 27, which provides a clear definition of pure religion: to visit the fatherless and widows in their affliction, and to keep himself unspotted from the world. This verse tells us that true religion is not just about faith or rituals, it is about compassion, about reaching out to those in need, and about maintaining our integrity, keeping ourselves pure and untainted by the world's vices. Pure religion, therefore, is not just about belief, but also about action, doing good deeds and leading a life unspotted from the world. So, what have we learned about the meaning of pure religion? It is not merely a system of beliefs, but a way of life that calls for virtues like faith, patience, wisdom, and humility. These virtues are not innate, but are cultivated through trials and temptations. They are the building blocks of character, molding us into people who not only believe in good, but actively pursue it. We've also learned that pure religion places a high value on good deeds. It's not enough to merely hear the word, we must be doers of the word. This means reaching out to those in need, visiting the fatherless and widows in their affliction, and keeping ourselves unspotted from the world. Remember, pure religion is not just about what we believe in, but also about how we live our lives. It's about facing trials with patience, asking for wisdom, controlling our tongues, doing good deeds, and keeping ourselves unspotted from the world. That, in essence, is the meaning of pure religion.